Welcome to Peza Horror Stories. Tonight, I have a chilling tale from the backroads of Pennsylvania. Before we begin, if you enjoy stories that make your heart race and your skin crawl, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps keep these real horror accounts alive, so that the darkness you're about to hear never fades. Now, settle in, because once you take the wrong road at night, you may never find your way back. It was late September 2022. The nights had already grown long, the air turning sharp with the smell of dry cornfields and wet earth. Three friends, Josh, Tyler, and Miguel, were on their motorcycles, tearing through the quiet backroads of Pennsylvania. They weren't troublemakers, just young men in their 20s, chasing a little thrill. That night, their plan was simple: ride out past midnight, cut through the countryside, and surprise their buddy Daniel for his birthday. Daniel lived in a small town on the other side of the county. The fastest route would have been the highway, but fast wasn't the point. "Man, we should take the back roads," Josh shouted over the rumble of the bikes. His voice carried through the crisp night air. "Yeah," Tyler called back. "Why? It's like 2 a.m. Ain't nobody out here." "Exactly," Josh grinned beneath his helmet. "The country roads are empty, wide open besides. I heard there's an old mining road that cuts the time in half." Miguel wasn't so sure. He'd grown up hearing stories about those mining towns, places people left behind when the coal dried up, ghost towns, empty churches with doors nailed shut, streets where no one lived but curtains still moved at night. But the thrill of adventure and the challenge of proving they weren't afraid pulled him in. So, they turned off the main road, and the world around them changed. The narrow lane led them past endless farmland. Rows of corn stood tall on either side, black silhouettes under the pale moon. Every once in a while, a scarecrow appeared, arms stretched wide, its shadow dragging across the dirt as their headlights passed. For a while, it was fun. The bikes hummed smoothly. The night smelled like cut grass and gasoline. But then, as they passed deeper into the countryside, something shifted. The road narrowed, the trees grew closer. The only light came from their headlights, slicing through the darkness. That's when Tyler slowed his bike. "You guys hear that?" he said through the comms. The others pulled alongside him. At first there was nothing, just the quiet hum of engines and the whisper of wind. Then, faintly came the sound of crying. Not an animal, not the wind. Human, soft, distant, like a woman sobbing just beyond the tree line. Miguel's stomach tightened. Maybe someone's hurt. Josh shook his head. "Out here, at this hour? Nah, let's keep moving." Reluctantly, they revved up again. But the crying didn't fade. If anything, it followed them. 10 minutes later, as they crested a small hill, the road opened into a stretch of cracked pavement lined with broken fence posts. And their dead center in their headlights stood a woman. She was pale, almost glowing in the moonlight. Her hair hung loose and wet, sticking to her cheeks. She wore a faded dress that fluttered in the windless air. She didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't even blink, just smiled. A wide, unnatural grin that made all three men slam their brakes at once, skidding to a stop only yards away. "What the hell?" Tyler whispered. Josh tried to shout at her. "Hey, you okay?" The woman tilted her head, smile never breaking. And then, like a flicker on an old television, she vanished. Gone, the road was empty again. The only sound was the hard thump of their own heartbeats. Miguel's voice cracked through the comms. Did you see that too?" None of them answered. They just revved their engines. And this time, no one suggested stopping. The shortcut cut deeper into the hills. Abandoned mining towns rose and fell along the roadside. Houses slumped into themselves, windows broken, weeds splitting the sidewalks. But the strangest thing, as they passed through one village, their headlights caught something impossible. Laughter. Dozens of people, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, gathered in the street. Women in gowns, men in black suits, a full wedding party, dancing under strings of yellow lanterns. The riders slowed, staring in disbelief. The people moved gracefully, smiling, clapping, raising glasses. But the moment they turned their heads, gone. The street was empty. No lanterns, no music. Just boarded up houses and broken glass. They rode faster, but it kept happening. Every town they passed, more visions. A parade marching silently. A church glowing with light and shadowy figures singing inside. Children running across the street, then fading into dust. The line between the living and the dead had blurred, and they were trapped in between. Finally, after what felt like hours, the backroads spat them out into civilization. A lone gas station appeared at the intersection, its flickering neon sign a beacon in the night. They pulled in fast, engines roaring, the bright lights like salvation. Josh ripped off his helmet. His face was pale and dripping sweat. Tyler lit a cigarette with shaking hands. Miguel paced, muttering to himself, replaying the pale woman's smile in his mind. Inside, the clerk looked up from his magazine, surprised to see anyone at this hour. "You boys look like you seen a ghost," he joked. None of them laughed. Instead, Josh demanded, "This road, the one through the mines, what's the deal with it?" The clerk's smile faded. He leaned forward, lowering his voice. "Locals don't take that road after dark. Been that way for generations. Folks say the old town's never emptied." "Not really. What you saw wasn't for you." Miguel swallowed hard. "Then why? Why did it follow us?" The clerk's eyes darkened. "Because once you've been seen, you can't be unseen." The friends exchanged terrified glances, and in the reflection of the station's glass door, for just a second, Miguel swore he saw her. That pale woman, standing in the road, smiling. So if you ever find yourself on the empty backroads of Pennsylvania, and you hear the sound of crying in the trees, don't stop. Don't look back, because once you take the shortcut, something might just take you with it. You've been listening to Peza Horror Stories. If you enjoyed tonight's tale, make sure to subscribe so you never miss the next time the darkness calls.